Well, welcome back again.
Welcome back. Take two.
Take two. Yeah, this podcast is brought to you by Capri Sun.
Oh, if only.
If only. I wish. Someday.
They sell it by the gallon.
What?
I haven't seen it in stores in Oregon, but they sell Capri Sun by the
that would
jug.
be such a game changer.
I know, right?
What?
I should look.
Do you
for
remember
it more.
in college when we put Capri Suns in the freezer and then we put vodka in them?
It's my favorite summer snack.
I promise we were not partiers in college. I mean,
really, we're not.
We never went to a party.
No, and apparently I lived at a party apartment.
Oh.
Taylor said the retreat is like where all the parties are.
I guess I could see that, but we never
don't know.
partied.
We
partied with the three of us.
Party hardy with both hands.
We really did.
Well, this week we have another Shari Lapena book.
She does it again, guys.
She did it again. Stranger in the House.
You read this first and then told me I needed to read it.
You needed to read this.
What?
I was right? Was I right?
You were right.
It's so good.
So I gave it 5 stars.
I gave it 5 stars.
I only think I've read 2 Shari Lapena books, but I own like 4 or 5. I mean, so far she can do no wrong.
I've read.
She's very good at what she does.
The Couple Next Door, The End of Hers, the one we read, right?
The End of Hers we've done.
Which means I have 3 more. And she's coming out with a new one this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, July 25th. It's called Everyone Here is Lying.
I mean, it's probably going to be another good one.
Oh, she's so good.
Well, I guess I could read the back.
Yeah, go ahead and read the back.
Karen Crump, which honestly, unfortunate last name. I don't appreciate it.
Crump?
Oh, why did I put an M? I did Crump. There's no M.
Hear that.
No, there's no M.
It's a double P.
Yeah, Crump. Yeah, I don't like it.
It's still Karen. Yeah.
Karen was home, making dinner for her husband. She was expecting him any second. The phone rang. It was the call she'd hoped she'd never get. She jumped in her car and raced to a neighborhood she thought she'd never visit. She peered into the dark, deserted building and braced herself for the worst. After that, she remembered nothing. They told her husband Tom she'd been in an accident. She must have lost control of her car as she sped through the roughest part of town. The police suspect that Karen was up to no good, but her husband refuses to believe it. Her best friend is not so sure, and even Karen herself doesn't know what to believe. Then she realizes something in her house has been moved. Someone's been there, and now everyone is a stranger. Everyone has a secret, one they might even kill for. This book had so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
When I thought something was happening and okay, I figured it out.
No, you didn't.
No, I did not.
No, you didn't.
Not even the slightest bit. Up to the very, very end.
To the end.
To the very last page. I was... Oh my god.
This is 305 pages. It's a short book.
It's short. It took me a little bit, but my boyfriend was working on the RV with his brother, and so I had me time, and I finished the whole book. It's
just her writing. It's like short chapters, easy
Chef's
to
kiss.
read. You can just fly through it.
I tell ya, if you like mysteries and suspense, Shari Lapena is the way to do it. Because she's not gory. She's not...
No. This is definitely a psychological thriller. So it's all in the head.
I think a lot of her...
most of
if not all, are psychological
and domestic thrillers.
I
will say,
fantastic.
It's like a basic thriller formula, is how I put it. But she executes it so well that, if you, I put down this be a good book to get you out of a reading slump. You know what I mean? It's just fast.
I have no bad words.
It's just so good.
It was fantastic.
I guess my only weird thing about this book was how often they called her, a suburban wife, and, why would she be in such a bad neighborhood? You know what I mean? That was, the only weird thing.
Yeah, they really try to, sell her as this suburban housewife, picket fence, making a pie kind of
in the 50s
lady.
Or something.
Yeah. Well, the book starts right off the bat.
I was gonna say, boy, does the book start.
Yeah, with her frolicking in places she doesn't belong. I had to throw the frolic in. You know,
throw the frolic
I had
every
to.
episode.
I really try. So it basically, the prologue starts with Karen hitting the pole and getting into the accident.
In that car accident.
Yeah. And then Tom gets home, sees that his wife's not there. They make a point in this book, and it's a very important point. Karen does not make mistakes. She also is very, like, law-abiding citizen. She goes exactly the speed limit.
Very goody two-shoes.
She always makes sure the door is locked. There is nothing in that house that she does not know about.
She knows where everything is and how she left it precisely.
So for her to be so when Tom gets home, I'm getting ahead of myself. When Tom gets home, he notices that the door is unlocked, which is
weird,
highly unusual. That the dinner that she was making wasn't fully prepared. It's like
it was like she left in the middle of it.
Exactly, which is also highly unusual. Her purse, and I believe her phone.
I think her phone too, yeah.
I mean, obviously things that you would want to take with you.
Yeah.
Left. I don't remember exactly in the house, but they were in the house nonetheless. And I think he called the cops.
Yeah.
And he
was looking around.
He was looking around
first.
And then he called across the street.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to her later.
Because they're good friends. His wife and Bridget.
Yeah. Bridget. I was like, why can't I remember her name?
It's not Bridget. Bridget. Right?
Yeah. Bridget.
Yeah, Bridget.
Yeah, it's strange. So he calls the police to report his wife missing. And then, like, a couple seconds later, they show up and say that the wife was in a car accident. And they told him, like, what part of town. He was like,
it's a weird neighborhood.
Yeah. A lot of, like, drugs and theft.
She'd have no reason to be there. There wasn't, like, a store she went to.
She's a housewife.
She's a prissy housewife.
She has no need for being in places like that.
I'm trying to remember.
Sorry, I was drinking my Capri Sun.
So
then they obviously, I guess, where they live, I don't remember where they live, but reckless driving is like a federal offense. Like, she's going to go to jail for reckless driving. And they just think it's really weird how, like, she hit the pole and it was like she was trying to run away from something. But because she
driving recklessly, speeding and running red lights. Yeah,
so because she hit the pole so fast, she got a really bad concussion, which made her lose her memory for that night. So she has no idea why she was over there, what was happening, all that stuff. Tom kind of feels like Karen's hiding something, especially since she left so abruptly.
Yeah.
And he's starting to kind of get frustrated with her that she can't remember anything. And so then we kind of get a glimpse of Bridget. Because Bridget is the neighbor across the street. She does not work. She had some fertility issues with her husband, Bob. And
forgot his name was Bob.
Yeah, his name's Bob. Bob's never home. That makes her very upset.
Yeah.
And so all Bridget does all day is sit at home in her chair, which faces across the street to Tom and Karen's house.
So weird.
And she watches them constantly. And I mean,
like reality TV.
Yes.
She just sits and stares.
Yeah. So you can kind of feel the tension because Bridget goes to the hospital to visit Karen, and you can tell that Tom does not like Bridget.
Yeah.
It's not noted right away why he doesn't like Bridget.
Yeah. But there's always
there's a tension.
There's a weird, and like she kind of acts casually, but you can tell he always wants to like end the conversation. He doesn't really want to be around her. He just wants to like leave.
Yeah.
And the police mentioned that there was a murder near where she crashed.
Yes.
And so they were hoping, because they were kind of trying to figure out the timing, that maybe she saw something, maybe it has something to do with it, something.
Yeah, so we find out that there was a body in a abandoned restaurant in that neighborhood.
Isn't there always?
Yeah, I know, casually. Because these children decide, it'd be funsies, is looting the body. Because that's what children do.
I mean, you always gotta loot the body.
Yeah, always.
Always.
So they took his wallet, his ring, his watch. I think that was it.
I think that was about it, yeah.
And So a local pawn shop was like, oh,
Why do kids have these?
these kids just pawn stuff off of them. So
Yeah.
they find the body. It's been there for a while. So it's already looking grotesque. And the man was shot 3 times in the chest and
something
once
like
in the
that,
face.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 times total.
And they also
And-
found a pair of rubber gloves at the scene.
Yes. So they found a pair of rubber gloves that were pink with floral design with tire tread marks on them. So they were asking questions, stuff like that.
It says, "Are you perhaps missing a pair of pink rubber gloves, the kind you might use for washing dishes?" She lifts her head, straightens her back. "No, I'm not," she says convincingly, but she knows her gloves are missing. She was looking for them yesterday. She has no idea where they've gone. She'd asked Tom, but he hadn't known either.
Yes. So
yeah,
Tom knows
now Tom knows that
she's missing gloves.
Yeah.
And she just lied straight to the police's face. And then, of course, they ask Tom, and Tom lies for her.
Yeah.
And then gets upset that she lied to the police. Which, understandable.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we're not even 100 pages in, and it just...
Well, so then she lawyers up, because she's like,
I probably should lawyer up.
Yeah. She still can't remember that whole night, but she lawyers up and tells him. So then, I think she slowly starts getting her memory back.
Yeah, she tries to remember. Is that when she goes back? Or she
Well,
goes around? Or...
So, I will note that each chapter is kind of from a different perspective. Well, maybe not each chapter, but
it bounces around.
The chapters don't specify, like, right off the bat.
Right.
So they go from Tom's perspective, Bridget's, Karen's, and the detective.
Rossback?
Yeah. And so it's starting to come to light that they obviously have the gloves, and then she realizes that that's her gloves, but she can't figure out, like, why she was there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of...
Oh, they found out that she got a phone call.
That's it. She got a phone call from a burner phone, which they were like, well, that's highly suspicious. And it was also during a time that Tom would have been home. And so they thought that maybe that call was supposed to be for Tom, and then Karen went out to investigate.
Yeah.
But what Tom really was doing was he was down by the water. By the water. Waiting for Bridget. Because then it comes to light that Bridget and Tom had an affair before he met Karen.
Yeah.
It's very important to note that, yes, Tom and Bridget were together before Karen.
Was Bridget with Bob?
Yes.
Yeah,
right. They were married with... Yeah.
That's right.
Because Bridget told Tom that they were separating.
That's right.
And then they weren't, but then Tom just kept along with it. But then once he met Karen, he broke it off.
Stopped.
And Bridget got a little crazy, and he was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, and he never told Karen.
No, and he told Bridget not to tell Karen.
Yeah.
But then, of course, Bridget became BFFs with Karen.
Yeah, she got really
obsessive,
really crazy about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of just goes along like they're trying to find out who the body is. Bridget's being obsessive like normal.
Karen starts noticing, like, the perfume top isn't on the perfume bottle that she thought it was, or she left a cup in the sink and she thought she put it away.
Yeah.
Like, starts noticing little things, and then, like, there's, like, a print in the bed that looks like someone sat on it, but I just made the bed, and she's, like, that meticulous about her things. Yeah, and we'll get to the fact on, like, why she's like that, and it makes sense once you find out, but so because she is so, like, has to know what is happening and everything has to be a certain way, she starts taking photos of her on her phone before she leaves the house. Yeah, of, and like, then, the rooms to make sure that she's not, like, imagining these things. Yeah, and she's told Tom. Tom thinks she's crazy. He's like, no one's in the house. So then I believe that do we find out about Karen before we find out who the guy is that's deceased? I think so. Yeah, we find out Karen's past before, that she's a survivor. Okay, so Karen... Oh, yeah, this is wild. So Karen was in a very abusive relationship
before Tom, and she was married. They lived in Las Vegas. She was being abused by her husband, and she was going to one of those, I don't know, like, it wasn't therapy,
Like
but it was like a
group,
woman's
support group type of thing.
for abusive relationships.
Yeah.
So then, to get away from her abusive husband, she fakes her own death by pretending to jump off. Was it a bridge? It was a bridge. I think it was a bridge.
Into water, I know that.
And then starts a new life, which is why she's so meticulous about everything in the house, because her abusive husband was like, if something didn't look right, she'd get abused for it. And then also that's why she's so conscious of the law, because she doesn't want to get caught.
Yeah, her real name is Georgina Trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew that if that came out, that he would find her.
Yes.
Very safe haven-like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's right.
I'm smart.
Wow.
Look at me,
all
recall
the time.
books I've read.
I know. I'm impressed. So then Bridget starts getting a little crazy, and Bridget goes over to the house. They find out that the guy that was in the restaurant was Karen's husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she knows that is only time will tell that they will figure out who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes to her lawyer, and they obviously arrest her after she talks to her lawyer. And Bridget is obviously watching from across the street like a maniac.
Yeah.
And sees Karen get taken away in handcuffs, and immediately goes over to Tom and goes, like, trying to talk to him, being oblivious. Basically blackmails him into sleeping with her again. And then because she got him to sleep with her, she thinks, oh, we're going to be in a relationship again. We're back together again. It's going to be great.
Ugh, she's so wild. And is that when she says that she followed Karen?
Yeah, so it comes to light that Bridget actually followed Karen to the restaurant.
Because she watched, as she was watching, saw Karen leave frantically and drive away, and Bridget's like, oh! And then she also gets in her car and drives.
Like a maniac.
A maniac.
So then she heard gunshots, and then she saw Karen leave.
Yeah.
And then said that she dropped the gun because Karen had a gun hidden in the house for safety measures. So Bridget said that at the restaurant, she watched her drop the gun and the gloves and then get in the car and speed off.
Yeah.
And then Tom was like, well, so you didn't watch her actually shoot the guy. And she was like, well, no, but
she went in there with a gun.
Yeah. So then Tom tells this to Karen, and Karen was like, I swear the guy was alive when I left. So maybe Bridget
was the one
who did it. Exactly. So then you're like, well, did Bridget do it?
Yeah.
Who killed this man?
And forth, and now Tom has cheated on Karen, and he doesn't.
I know, because then I was like, do I like Tom? Do I not? Am I supposed to like Tom? I'm like, who am I supposed to like in this book? Yeah, it was insane.
Oh, I have it. Bridget had promised Tom that she isn't going to say anything to the police, but Bridget had a plan. There's no going back.
Yeah, she's insane.
Crazy.
So then Bridget goes a little step further and cuts her hair to look just like Karen. Just like them. So I will say too, Karen tells the police that she knows someone's been in the house, and so she thought that it was her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Then it comes to light that Bridget was working outside and a guy was walking around Tom and Karen's house. So then he says that he was an old acquaintance from her life before, which really confused Bridget and made her start snooping. So then Karen tells the police, like, I swear someone's been in my house. She shows the proof of, like, these are the pictures I took, and then these are the ones after, and you can tell, like, something's different. She was like, if you go into my house and you get fingerprints, you'll see his fingerprints, because now you have his dead body, you got his fingerprints, you can test them.
Yeah.
So then they go in, which they actually listened to her, which was like, okay,
I was like,
I
sweet,
like that.
They actually went in and got
So they went in, got prints, and they're like, well, there's mysterious prints in here. Like, I don't know who these prints would be, but they're all over, even in Karen's underwear drawer.
Yeah.
Which is very strange.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're not his.
Yeah. So then Tom tells the police about Bridget, how she followed Karen there, all this stuff,
and how she looks just like. I have a thing. It's like, if she's going to slip into Karen Krupp's life, she's going to do it right. She'll be everything Tom wants her to be, but more.
It's wild. So then the police are like, you know what? We're going to fingerprint Bridget.
Just go check out Bridget.
We're going to check out Bridget. Come to find out, Bridget's fingerprints were the ones that were all over the house.
All over the place.
In her underwear drawer.
So
oh my god, it's wild.
Weird.
So then they're like, that's not right. And because Bridget was the way she was, Karen wasn't arrested for murder. Like, she got off because of Bridget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which made Bridget very upset.
Very upset.
So then, where are you at? She's reading, guys. See, this is the thing. I just finished this book, and it's been a while since Mel's read it.
How Bridget is crazy.
But our next book that we're going to be talking about,
it's Flip Flop.
It's Flip Flop. I haven't read it in a hot minute, and Mel just finished it. So it's going to be like this for the next 2 episodes. Bear with us. If there's pauses, I'm probably drinking my Capri Sun. I'm not going to lie there. And, well, and so also, they find out that, so Tom comes clean.
Yeah, he confesses. I just found that part.
Yeah, so he confesses that he slept with her, and so then Karen was like, well, then it must be Bridget, because she's obsessed. And she wants...
thinks it's fate.
And, and so Karen was like, well, it must be Bridget, because she wants to take my husband away from me, so she's probably framing me for murder.
Oh, yeah, even Tom says, she must have planted the gun in her garage. She's trying to make sure you go to prison for murder.
So, while they were trying to figure out where the murder weapon was, they got 2 calls anonymously from a lady saying that the gun's in the garage, which is like, that's very specific.
I bet you the gun's in the garage.
Yeah.
Bridget.
Yeah, and so they figure out it was Bridget. It's like, you're not fooling anyone. So, yeah, this whole, like, murder charge just got dropped, because bitches be crazy.
The bitch be crazy.
Yeah, and so, like I said, Tom confesses to everything. Karen was upset, but she was like, I could see, like...
It was blackmail, essentially, or was it?
I know.
You just go back and forth. Do you like Tom or not?
I know. I don't know. Well, and we learned something at the very end that... Ooh. I don't like any of them at this point. You know, they all suck in their own personal ways. And so then we find out a little more about Karen.
A little more.
And her husband, which I can't remember his name. So I'm just...
Oh, Robert.
Robert, okay.
Robert.
So, fun fact, Robert wasn't actually abusive.
Nope.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Karen planted that for like a year.
Yeah.
Because they met at a bar. He was very, very wealthy. She wanted the money. So she played along, and then she started going to that group therapy for, I think it was for battered women or something like that. Did that for a year to make it more believable. Faked her death. And then she faked her death because she figured out what the safe number was in the wall for $2 million. And she took the $2 million.
She took it.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason that Robert found out about her was because I guess she was, like, her previous job was also doing books for someplace. And so he found Karen by looking at, like, in the United States, booking jobs,
right.
and he found Tom, and there was a Christmas party photo, and
right.
she was in the background, and that's how he found her. And so it comes to light that Robert wasn't even abusing her, and then it also comes to light that Karen actually did shoot him.
Yep.
And then we find out a little something about Bridget.
Oh, Bridget.
So Bridget and Bob get a divorce, which Bridget's happy about. Then Bridget's very, very mad because Karen didn't go to prison like she wanted. And now they live happily ever after next door. But then we find out something that happened with Bridget.
Yeah.
So at the very end, Bridget is knitting
knitting
baby things.
little baby socks and blankets.
And her husband haven't had sex in a very long time.
No, they haven't.
So this baby's Tom's. Tom fucked up.
It says Bridget isn't giving up and she's not going away. She has a new plan. She'll make Karen pay, and she has a secret.
So just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier,
bum.
I can tell you, there's so many twists and turns in this book.
I have some questions.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Did you like Karen?
I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
I did not in the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you trust her and were you rooting for her?
In the beginning, I thought she was a victim. I definitely thought, I was like, oh my gosh, like she was, I mean, of course she killed him, like she had to. And then I found out that he wasn't actually abusing her. He wasn't even
abusive, yeah.
I was like, you bitch.
Do you think she actually had amnesia? Or at what point do you think she actually remembered everything, just like she was telling it in the book?
I think she did, because, I mean, she hit the telephone pole pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I definitely think she should have, I think she gained back remembering a little sooner than what we're told.
Let on. Yeah. And then what did you think about Bridget?
I hated Bridget. Bridget pissed me off from the start to the end. I didn't like her.
So while reading, who did you think the murderer was?
I honestly thought it might have been Bridget. I
wanted it to be Bridget.
I thought it was Bridget because I honestly could see her being that crazy and pinning the murders on her. So I honest to God thought that Karen had already left, and then Bridget saw the gun and was like,
this is the chance.
You know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
I honestly did.
Were you satisfied with the final outcome?
I mean, it was a good ending, but it made me question more. Like,
yeah.
So because Bridget and Bob got divorced, they were hoping that Bridget would sell the house.
Yeah, that she would leave too. But he left her the house.
Exactly. And so
she just keeps sitting there.
I'm curious if Tom and Karen would leave.
I was going to say, what would you think if she were to write a sequel? Because I feel like Bridget would just follow them.
There's no way that Bridget would not let Tom go.
I don't think they could do it without
But I
her knowing.
honestly think that Karen would kill Bridget if she had to. I feel like maybe she would.
Good follow-up.
I think she'd kill her.
Killing Bridget.
I think she would. I think, what if she killed Bridget and then somehow adopted the baby?
I was going to say, but waited for the baby to be born. Nice.
Or pretended she was pregnant at the same time, but not. Kill Bridget, take the baby. And then like,
I had the baby. That'd be good. Damn.
Maybe I should write Shari Lapena.
Shari Lapena, what's up?
I got a sequel for you. Stranger in the House Part 2.
But yeah, this was her second thriller book. The first one was The Couple Next Door. She'd written a couple books prior, but I don't think they're like her mainstream
I haven't
thrillers.
read A Couple Next Door.
I liked it.
I've only read the end of her and this one by her.
The Couple Next Door is about two couples who live next to each other. One of them has a baby, and they've like drifted apart.
That's right. You've told me about that one.
And they go over, leave the baby at home, bring the monitor.
That's right.
Baby gets stolen.
Could you pull up Goodreads on your phone and I'll find the 1 star?
Oh man.
I don't.
Here it goes.
Sorry, folks. I don't have my phone on me. I gotta do my part.
My part.
So, it's my favorite part.
It's really good.
So this book has a 3.68 stars, which is surprisingly low.
Yeah.
It also only has 119,031 ratings. So,
I think when I was looking at it, I think a decent amount of people didn't like this one.
Catherine said, let me start this whole shebang by saying I almost DNF'd this book in excess of 10 times.
Oh my god. It's not even that long of a book.
I know. There's really not that many, like, 1 star.
You can click 1 star.
I thought I did.
Oh.
Oh, no, I didn't. Someone's like, I have no idea what possessed me to request this book.
What?
When I absolutely disliked this author's debut.
What?
Oh.
I'm offended.
Herbie says, seriously, is that it? Sigh. This book it's a liar.
It's a liar.
Was the lack of characters?
Lack of characters.
I don't think that.
I don't think I've ever complained about there being too few characters. Too many, yes.
Yeah, this one said, I feel like the author was trying too hard to make this story into a mind-blowing psychological thriller, like Shutter Island or Gone Girl.
Nothing felt like it was forced.
Yeah. The only thing harder than writing a good book is writing another one. This is Lapena's second book, and it was terrible. Talk about tedious.
Oh my god. What?
This really might be the most repetitive book I've ever slogged my way through. I really liked her first book, but this was a mess. 1 star, and I'm being generous.
What? How?
Okay, hands down.
Oh god.
Tracy 4 years ago. This one is the best.
4 years ago.
My dog could have walked across the keyboard of my computer and written a more suspenseful book.
Oh. What?
Tracy.
Damn.
Oh.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's an easy thriller.
Unfortunately, all the characters are shallow and dim-witted. I don't think so.
What? No.
Oh, that's in Spanish. I can't read that one. This novel was a complete fiasco. It's like every character in this book is trying to win at being the least likable. I wanted everyone to be murdered.
I mean, you can feel that way
get it.
And still like the book.
Oh, the dog walking, though.
The dog walking across the keyboard.
That was good.
Rude.
I know. Honestly, that one was hilarious.
This is the most ridiculously predictable book ever. What?
Who would have predicted that Bridget gets pregnant at the end?
Also, stop thinking. People ruin, spoil it for themselves when they're reading a thriller and, try to guess what's happening. And, sometimes that happens for me, too. But I'm not, thinking deeply of, I'm gonna solve this. Oh, I want to have fun.
My brain can't comprehend. No.
Also, I'm not thinking about, I thought Karen was abused. And I was like, good for her. How do you stage a whole... How do you stage your death?
I get...
Wild. For years.
Well, and I get Shari Lapena is known for being, when you think you've figured it out, you haven't. Wow. That was...
I'm just finishing my Capri Sun, don't mind me.
She's sucking it down. But I get Shari Lapena is the type of writer that when you kind of know her style of writing, you really can't be for sure about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I still thought that she was gonna be abused.
I guess I mean some writers you just vibe with and others you don't. And Shari Lapena is my kind of thriller.
I like her. No, I like her a lot. She can do no wrong in my eyes.
She really can't, and it makes me so excited to read the rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully, I can find some more for books. So next weekend. Well, next weekend, Mel and I are going to go up to Portland for the night and go to Powell's for the day.
I'm so excited.
Pretty much the whole day. I really don't see us going anywhere else.
Yeah, if anything, the other Powell's location, but just because I haven't been to those.
I haven't been to that one either.
I always forget they have other
But
locations.
Powell's is so big, and they have so many books. I didn't realize they had a used book section as well that are cheaper. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, you can sell them your books.
I have zero room for any of these books.
None.
And
mine are filled. I had to rearrange them yesterday.
But it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do next weekend.
But tomorrow they're having a 25% off sale.
Yeah.
But upsetting. When you hear our next episode,
that'll be the weekend. Home, yeah, that will be coming home. I was gonna say if you see us in Powell's, say hi. You don't know what we look like. So
oh yeah, you don't.
No.
Just go up to everyone. Hi, is it you? Hi, is it you? Also, oh no, you'll know. I'm thinking, I got very confused that this was the next one that you'd be hearing on Sunday when we'd be there on a Saturday. I was like, I don't know how you know the future, but this is coming out this weekend.
Is coming out this weekend.
Don't mind me. I don't know what day it is.
It's okay. I wish I didn't know what day it was. But yeah, at some point, I feel like obviously we're going to show what we look like. Eventually.
Probably. I mean, we look like our Bitmojis. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We look just like that.
Exactly like them. Spitting image. But yeah, I'm very excited.
It's gonna be fun. If you have any book recommendations,
Yes.
or anything you want us to read,
Yeah, just
tell
message us
us.
on Instagram.
Yeah, and maybe we can try to find it while we're pals.
Yeah, we
And we'll do
we
an
do
episode.
check those. No one's messaged us, but we do check them.
Oh, okay, because I don't.
Oh, I do.
Well, good.
I did gain a follower on Goodreads. I don't know if
Oh.
I don't know if that
I
person
have a few
listens.
followers on
I don't know if they
Goodreads.
listen to us.
I just accept because
Oh, well, yeah.
I like seeing what other people are reading. Because
But
then I need to know if I should be reading them.
exactly.
Because clearly I don't have enough options.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna have enough time to read my TBR. Honestly, maybe I'm gonna say when we own a bookstore. I'm putting that out into the universe.
Yes.
When
we have a
When.
bookstore.
It's not if, it's when.
And then we can have
Mother.
our own, like, book club. Mother.
Love you, Mom. She doesn't listen to us anymore.
No, she doesn't. It's for the best.
Yeah.
Anymore, did she?
I think she listened to our very first one.
Oh.
And then
I
she
need
thought
to
it
tell
was
her I'm
weird that
sorry.
we cussed. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I don't think I've cussed in front of your mother.
I very
Or my
rarely
mother.
do. Yeah, I very
Already?
rarely.
No, that's a lie. I do cuss in front of people.
You're like Nova's mothers. But yeah, when we own one, then I'm sure I'll.
That'd be fun. We can do a book club.
Yes.
I mean, this is kind of a book club, but like a book club where we would also include other people's opinions, not just ours. Like an actual discussion.
Like where we'd actually
with
talk to
others.
people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't do that much.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No. But I feel like I'd be more prone to talking to people about books.
That is true.
I could handle.
that.
Although if they have a strong opinion about a book that I also have a strong opinion about, I could get upset.
We'll
very
just have our
easily.
meeting in a boxing ring.
Oh, there we go. Then do the ding ding ding. Yeah. And then I'll walk around in a bikini round one.
It's not even you fighting.
No.
But we only have a round one card because
That's
there's
it.
no way we're having more.
There's no way it's gonna last more than one round.
I-
That's it. We have it in the back of the bookstores. So it's like daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime.
Oh, Lord. Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks for sticking around with us. You know, you never know what you're gonna get.
We don't even know what we're going to
No,
say.
exactly.
None of this is planned.
It never is.
Well, yeah, next week is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited to record that one.
Yeah, I haven't read it in a while.
Is that the one your mom read? Your mom read that one too? Or did she read something else?
No, she read the X-Hex.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because they got a little spicy in the library, and she was
That's
like,
right.
I had to skip that
She
part.
just
I'm like,
skipped
"Ma."
it. She just kept
Like,
flipping.
you would not like some of the books I own, Mom.
Yeah, if you see a book called Saint, do not even pick it up, Mother.
Don't even look at
Don't
it.
look at it, Mom.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the Dead
We'll do
Romantics
that
next week.
one. Yeah, follow us on Instagram. We
The
still
Big
have a
Up Stacks
TikTok. There's still nothing
podcast?
on it. The Big Up Stacks podcast.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a TikTok and like pals or
We should-
something.
Oh my god!
At
if
least
we don't
Portlanders-
at least take one picture at Pals and
Well,
post
yeah.
it, I'll be very upset.
I mean, Portland people are more prone to seeing people taking TikToks. I
That
feel
is
like
also
they're not going to
true.
judge us as
That's
much.
true. Plus, Portlanders are just weird,
Exactly.
and I can say that because legitimately their tagline is "Keep Portland Weird."
yeah,
So.
no. Exactly. Yeah.
So I guess we'll see you here. We'll be
talk
back
to you.
next Sunday.
We'll do a little chit chat. Bye, guys.
Bye.